Irina and Ali are in the house. We've got a New York life coach and an actor, I guess is the proper way of saying it. So you guys clearly have mastered creating lives that you love. And want to hear all about your journey and tell us a little bit what you're up to and how you guys are working together.
Okay, so I will let her start with that.
Deflect, that's my talent as well. I deflect.
Congratulations on
Thank
being
you so
honored
much.
as Women of Influence. It's
Thank you.
Women's History Month, and LA Confidential has been great in honoring the both of you. So what's that been like for you?
Oh, it's been wonderful. I'm honored for some of the philanthropy work that I do. So I do philanthropy work in addition to acting. So it's just so wonderful to be recognized for that and to feel like I'm giving back, because that's something that I've worked on with Irina, is the importance of giving.
You're doing it with the wildfires, right?
No, with World Wildlife Fund.
I thought it was without you.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. So tell us a little bit about that fund.
It's just a wonderful cause. It has some great initiatives coming up in 2019. And it's just been wonderful working with them.
Giving back is so important, but I'm very curious, Ali, how did that change you? How did giving back actually give you back your life and your passion and your spirit?
Well, I've always been very strong, and I've always played very strong characters, but I never really tapped into that in my personal life. So when I started working with Irina, she asked me what kind of impact I wanted to make. And having that voice has really helped me tap into my strength. And seeing that I have a voice in the world. So I'm tapping into it not only in my work, playing strong characters, but tapping into it in my personal life also.
How'd you help her do that? How'd you make that happen?
Okay, so now I will tell a little bit about myself. So originally, actually, I'm from Romania. 20 years ago, came for the first time in here, and I had a big chance to work with Jim Rohn and met him at the age of 24. So that had a huge impact on me. I'm a former athlete, been a gymnast for over 13 years of my life. So I had that athlete mindset. And I think when I work with people, definitely that's a big part of it. Because you see, you do not build champions and you don't become a champion if you don't work daily. So a big part of what I was working with her in order to develop every skill, every strength that she has is working daily on that and developing the skill daily. It's mind, body, and soul. You don't work just on one part. And like I told you before, it's how you start your morning. How much time do you take for that? How do you stay in touch with them in a daily basis? The routines that they're applying in a daily basics. And the voice and the strength comes when you know who you are and what is your why in the world. And that's where her giving back comes from. Like, what is your why? What is the reason why we do anything? Because if we don't have the reason and it's not a strong why, we don't take any actions because we fall into a daily routine.
But I think it's interesting because you're already having success from the eyes of what the world thinks, right? But then it takes also, like, I think that people go, well, why do I need a life coach, whatever? Because it's not just about out there success. I mean, tell us about that. What's your experience with that?
Yes, so I love acting. I've always nurtured my talent, but I never asked myself, why am I spending 12 hours a day on set? Other than I just love it, and like most actors, you just want to feel fulfilled in using yourself. And Irina asked me, one of the first things she asked me, in addition to what kind of impact do you want to make in the world, what is your why for acting? And I tapped into that. And it's affected me feeling like I have this voice in the world, that there's more to it, and I'm helping other people through my work. So when I tapped into, you know what, I hope when someone sees my work or another actor's work, they will feel, you know what, someone is going through something, I can judge myself a little bit less and be a little more empathetic towards myself or towards someone going through something that I've never experienced.
So Irina, when did you discover your why? What was your personal awakening?
My personal awakening was after I retired from sports. That's why I love working with entertainment, with people that are A-type personality, because people think that athletes, when we retire, we know it all and we have this strength for some reason, and we feel the most lost. That's the part when you don't know what is next for you. Like, what do you want to do in the world? Because you don't have the medals now to run after or to work towards. And that was for me, I found like if I'm able to empower others and help others, I find now a new purpose for me. Something that comes like if I teach everything that I knew And that's how I started everything, through that why of giving back.
You are the New York life coach,
Yeah.
right? By brand, your handle at the New York life coach. And people always say that's very New York or that's very LA. Could you speak to us a little bit about maybe the difference in the mindset between the New York and the LA?
Yes, there is a huge, yeah, there is a huge difference actually. I always say New York, it's more like, let's go, let's do this. It's more like straightforward type of thing. And I think that's because of the nature of the city. You know, you have to be a hustler in order to survive. And that's seen in the way that people are reacting. And even in driving, even in talking with each other, in everything. LA, though, on the other hand, it's also, remember, guys, it's more sunny outside. It's more vitamin D. It's more about the environment. Yeah. The environment plays a huge role into that. And also the culture. So the culture here, it's more like, let's go outside, let's stay outside, let's do a hiking. You don't really see that in New York. And you know, those little details that people don't pay attention to, those are the things that makes the big difference in the way that we behave.
I love that you also talk about the daily things. I think that lots of coaches will work, you know, find your why, do whatever, but then it's like knowing your truth versus living that truth is two very different things. So you talked a little bit about your daily routine and what you do, but what is the daily things that you're doing that's having you stay on point?
It was one of the first things that we talked about. She had me do gratitudes. And I have to say, at first I thought, why am I doing this? And, you know, it feels good. And I noticed after about 2 weeks of writing 5 gratitudes every day, my outlook started to change. I would go through my day and I'd start noticing, I'm grateful for this, I'm grateful, just little things. And it really affects your entire outlook and even the actions that you take because you're in such a grateful sort of state of mind. So.
Love that. Barbara Fredrickson, who is a researcher, she talks a lot about broaden and build hypothesis, which is that the more you focus on positivity and gratitude, the broader your perspective becomes, and you become a lot more efficient, effective, and creative thinker.
Exactly.
Right. So I just love that. It's fantastic.
Yeah.
Do you ever find yourself challenged to continue focusing on gratitude and positivity, or does the exercise always kind of keep you on task?
In general, no, I think I'm generally a mostly positive person. I think you have to be in this business. But I will say that the gratitudes have definitely affected my performance in life. If you want to talk about the athlete mindset, I do notice myself taking riskier moves and anticipating things turning out in a more positive way from focusing on all of the good. It's like you're attracting more good and you expect more good to come to you.
When it rains, it pours, right?
Yeah, exactly.
It's pouring more positivity. Why is that? Let's actually focus on the positivity. Go figure.
Congratulations again as being honored as Women in Influence LA.
Thank you.
Tell everyone where they can find and follow each of your journeys.
So they can find me at the NYC Life Coach, guys, on the website, bi-coastal on social media. I'm not so active on Instagram, but I'll try to be more active on that. I promise you that, guys, on there.
You're doing plenty already.
Yeah. Thank you.
And my website is alistover.com and my Instagram handle is @ali_Stover.
Right.
Thank you both so much. Stay tuned.